Hi there and welcome. My name is Maria Hillegas and I'm a Pure Haven consultant. Today I'm bringing you my sister-in-law, Jean Schumacher. She is the founder of Simply Plant-Based. She introduced me to Pure Haven as a part of her program to help people to change their health destiny. She is a former chemistry teacher and totally understands the toxins we are being exposed to daily and the health problems they can cause. You can find out more about her programs, including the Weight Loss Advantage and her most recently launched program, the Pregnancy Advantage, on her website, www.simplyplantbased.net. Today, we're going to discuss sunscreens and some of the issues that you find with them. So, Jean, can you help me learn more about sunscreens and what we want to be careful with, avoid, what we want to look for, what's good for us, how to get the toxins out of our body?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just a couple weeks ago, your brother actually sent me a screenshot from an article that was in the Wall Street Journal, and it talked about sunscreens, and it was in the business section. It was a major, big article above the fold about these toxins.
Time of year.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's summertime. We're going to the beach, and you're like, forgot my sunscreen, and you stop at a drugstore and you pick up whatever sunscreen you can find.
Exactly.
No. Okay, so a couple things that I want to talk about. So one of the biggest problems, and if you remember back in the day, once upon a time, we'd had sunscreen, and it was you put it on and you look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Okay,
right.
And you're
White.
like, no, that white cream, and you're like, no, this looks awful. I want something that's going to go into our skin. So the companies listened to us. And so what happened is they changed it from using, they used titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, great, but they used what's called macroparticles. And so that didn't go through your skin because it stayed on top. Hello. So what Pure Haven has done is continues to use those macroparticles. What the industry has done has ground up these particles so that they are so tiny that they go right through your skin. Anything that you put on your skin, literally in 26 seconds, is in your bloodstream. Anything.
That's crazy in itself. Just to think about that. These toxins enter in your body that quickly.
Right. On your skin, or if you're breathing it. I think about like when I'm in the bathroom, and when I used to in the day use those foaming bath cleaners, and you're trying not to breathe because you can smell how toxic it is. You're trying not to breathe. And you don't know what's in it, but you know it's bad because you're trying not to breathe this because you're
holding
like
your breath.
Yeah. So that's what I love about Pure Haven is you don't have to do that anymore. Because anyway, so going back to the sunscreen, so Pure Haven uses the titanium dioxide and the zinc oxide, but it's macroparticles, so it's not going to go through and hurt you. Okay, so that's number one. But one of the biggest issues with most commercial sunscreens that you're going to find on the product shelf is oxybenzone. Have you heard about oxybenzone?
I've heard of it. How dangerous is this?
Okay, so the Environmental Working Group, EWG.org, this is a great resource, and they do have an app called Healthy Living that you can download for free. I like free. So you can download this. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So you can download this, and use it on your phone so that when you're going to purchase something, you can take a picture of the barcode. And if it's in the database, I think there's something like 70 or 80,000 products that are in their database, the cosmetic database, but also they have a whole page just on sunscreens. And they also have cleaning products as well, a database on that. So
that's great to know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the cosmetic database is registered on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. So they give you an overall rating of the product. And so it gives it to you like a 1 is best, a 10 is the worst. Okay. But I don't agree. The EWG is a great place to start because I don't agree with all of their ratings and some of the things that they're doing. So
why? Why don't you agree?
I'm so glad you asked. You're great. So why? Because like, for example, you might have a product that's registered as a 1. It gives it an overall 1. Okay. Then you start to look at the ingredients that are down below, and you scroll down and you can start to see, and some of the ingredients might have a rating of a 3 or 4 or a 5. So how can a product have an overall rating of a 1 if it has ingredients in it that are rated at a 5 or a 4 or whatever.
Okay. Well,
So
that's really good to know.
I disagree with some of the things, but it's a good place to start because they do give you information about all the ingredients. And if the product is not in their database, you can still go through and look up some of the ingredients. Because if you don't know how to say it or pronounce it, most likely it's not going to be good for you.
Exactly.
Just saying. Because there's like, in the United States, there's no regulation. There's zero regulation in this industry. They can put anything they want into it, and they do. Europe has very different standards. It's called the precautionary principle. So the precautionary principle means that they have to, before you can sell something, you have to prove it's not going to be harmful to humans.
Well, don't they also have a list of a lot shorter list than we do of what's allowed?
They've banned something like, I don't know, over 1,000 chemicals they have banned that you cannot use.
Right.
We've banned 11. Okay. And even at that, there's no regulation. They can still put those 11 ingredients into the products. And so there's a lot of things that are happening that are just almost like what I call misnomers. Like, for example, if you take a PEG and mix it with a sodium lauryl sulfate, you're going to create, so those are the reactants. Okay. When you mix them together, like in a product, then they create a product called 1,4-dioxane, which is so toxic to the environment that they measure it in parts per billion. That's how toxic it is. But they don't.
Right. So what does that do to us? So, I mean, something like that. Right.
Don't even get me started because we'll never finish. Because, let's go back to the Oxybenzone.
You're very passionate. Yes. So let's get back to sunscreens and what we should be looking for and being careful about.
Right. So Oxybenzone, it's used in so many things, primarily in, like, a lot of it is in sunscreen. Okay. So it has pretty high reactions to allergies, so to skin. So that could be one of the causes, number one, but it's a weak estrogen. First of all, it's bioaccumulative. So it means that it's going to be it's accumulating in your body. And okay, here it's my chemistry background coming out. I try not to let it out too often. But there's two major types of chemicals that your body is exposed to: fat soluble, water soluble. Okay. So if it's water soluble, your body still has to deal with it. It's going to go through your liver, kidneys, and you're going to pee it out. But if it's fat soluble, guess where it's going? In your fat cells. And the reason why your body does this is it tries to protect you. It's almost like an oyster. Like an oyster, it starts out with this grain of sand that's in it, and it can't go, oh God, this is awful, this grain of sand, I need to get it out. It can't take that grain of sand out. So what it does as a strategy is it puts a coating around it to stop it being annoying and an irritant to the oyster.
Okay.
So your body does the same thing to protect you from these toxic chemicals. It puts it and stores it in your fat cells. Okay. So your fat cells become these literal toxic dumps. Okay.
Right. So you're carrying this around with you.
You are. And it's bioaccumulative. So it means so that's one of the things that the industry uses against us is to say, oh, but it's such small quantities. Okay. Well, you're using it for 50 years. What do you want? I mean,
right. Plus
small quantities.
It's in many things.
Yes.
Right. So that's going to accumulate from different products in the environment.
Yeah.
But getting back to sunscreen,
keep circling back.
What should we be looking for, and why is the product that Pure Haven puts out, their sunscreen, what is in it that really will help us to be healthier?
I'm so glad you asked. What a great question. The first one, I love, first of all, that the Pure Haven has titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, but it's a non-nanoparticle. So they're very large particles that are not going to go through your skin. So that's number one. Okay. Number two, they use aloe vera. Have you?
Oh, I love aloe vera. Anything with aloe vera in it.
Right. Well, it's a natural moisturizer, and it can be used as a skin conditioning agent. And it's used in a broad variety of personal care products, and it's not toxic to us. So that's the best part. I love how they also have the green tea leaf extract.
Okay. Another very good natural item.
Yep. And it contains a lot of antioxidant ingredients. Okay. So that's going to help with your skin. Okay. Your skin biome. I mean, there's a lot of ingredients in the sunscreen, but I'm just tipping off you know, a few of the top ones. So they have like what's called olivates. Olivates are from derived from olive oil. Okay.
Okay.
And this is going to help reduce skin water loss. You know, you're losing moisture as you're sitting in the sun. You're baking.
Right. So this will help keep you hydrated.
Right.
Exactly.
So it has
okay.
very high moisturizing effect. Okay. So it contains humectant properties, which is going to promote the retention of water. So
right. That's a great plus right there. Yes.
Right. Another one that I love is pumpkin seed oil, which also contains high levels of antioxidants, right? And polyunsaturated, the fatty acids, and it's a skin conditioning agent in itself. So
that's very unique sounding. You wouldn't think pumpkin seed in a sunscreen, but that's very interesting.
Right. Well, another one is sunflower oil. Okay. And again, high in essential fatty acids, high moisturizing for both your hair and skin. Obviously, you're not going to be putting the sunscreen on your hair, but you know, they do use it a lot in hair care products because it absorbs easily into the skin without blocking the pores, and it's so light and non-greasy. Okay.
Well, tell me about this radish root. What is the deal with that? I've never heard of that.
Oh my God. This is one of for me, absolutely one of the most incredible ingredients in this product. And it's not just in the sunscreen, but they use it in like the hands on the go, which is you can't say that's a, hand sanitizer because it doesn't have this 80% or 70% alcohol, whatever it is. We do have a hand sanitizer, but I love the hands on the go better actually to help us, because it has such incredible antimicrobial properties. But the radish root, provides a couple things. It's an effective skin conditioning agent, number one. It helps with moisturizing, and it has this antimicrobial property. So what is interesting, in clinical studies, they have shown it successfully inhibits microbial growth of a variety of different bacterias, okay? And wait, this is the best. This is awesome. Radish root properties were discovered when researchers noticed that there were fewer cases of avian flu, like in the Korean peninsula, because they're using things like kimchi, which is a traditional dish made with, fermented vegetables, including radish. Okay.
Very cool. Okay. That's very interesting to know.
So it offered, resistance to the virus. So that's what this is doing and it's doing it in our sunscreen, and we have it in the surface cleaner. Oh my God, those are amazing. That's a whole other conversation for another day. But getting back to the sunscreen, the Pure Haven Essential Sunscreen is just, I can't say enough about it. I don't have to worry. And I think that's for me the biggest piece. I've changed my health, for my food. And like when I go to some of the conferences that I go to and I know that the food is going to be, I don't have to question and worry about the food that I'm eating. It's the same thing with Pure Haven. I don't have to worry because people smarter than I am have put together products that are not going to be toxic to me, and I don't have to worry or question. So
right. You can have full faith that they don't have the toxins in them that are going to be harmful to your system.
Right.
Thanks, Jean. I really appreciate you taking the time to let me interview you regarding all these toxins that you find in your body. This has been a great education. I hope to put these out weekly on my page. If you want more information, if you'd like to learn more about Pure Haven products and living healthy and toxin-free, you can either contact me or contact Jean, and we would love to send you some links on learning more about these different products and the toxins. Thanks so much. It was great seeing you. I hope everything's going well.
All right. Well, thank you, Maria, for taking the time with me today. Because I love, me, I love talking about these. First of all, Pure Haven, I love talking about this and helping to share my knowledge, because it's taken me a long time to learn and to find this company and to know that this is something that is okay for us. And
that's something
it needs my approval,
which is a very high standard, but it's also something, learning this is a journey. This is not something you're going to learn overnight.
Right.
This is something you need to just take your time and read and, find the top people in the field, like my sister-in-law, Jean. She's been doing this for a long time. She also has a great recipe channel on YouTube, and she has many followers, but it's something that you have to stop and take the time out, because you are important. You are very important, and you need to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
So,
your health is totally worth working for. And I
yes.
call it the trifecta approach. You have to change what goes in, so that's food and drink. You have to change what goes on, so that's the personal care products you're being exposed to and the environmental toxins that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And you have to exercise. You can't get around that.
Right,
So,
right, exactly. Well, thank you
right.
so much.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, and we'll be talking about another amazing product and how you can avoid a lot more toxins in your life.
Okay, sounds great. See you then.